Does he have headphones?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's
Two,
listening.
1.
So,
Don't know what that was.
we've had Trump on the podcast, on our podcast.
I was like, damn, I missed it.
We've had, so we definitely have to talk about this.
Wait, hold on. We got to figure out where we're at in the timeline of the United States. It's possible.
That we're not here anymore.
It's entirely possible that we are fighting right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's probably possible that the servers are already down and you guys will never hear this, to be fair. So there is that. So wait, what is today? Today is Saturday, the 2nd.
Yeah.
You guys are hearing this.
T-minus 3 days before.
You guys are hearing this, God willing,
Yeah.
on like the 6th?
7th.
4th? 7th.
No, the 4th. They're going to listen to it like 3 days after.
Oh, the 5th is the, yeah. So 6th, 7th, 8th.
8th.
Be the 8th. So you guys should be listening to this at 8th. So we should have, in quotes, a new president elect
Yeah.
by now. We don't know yet because it's the 2nd, Saturday.
Right.
We got 3 days left.
Have your thoughts changed?
Not really.
Yeah, mine haven't. Mine have actually grown quite a bit stronger.
I mean, I
wouldn't say strong. I fucking hate to say it, man. Like I am that fucking cocky to think that I'm the one that's gonna destroy the Trump, like the Trump train. Like if I'm willing it to happen now, that it's gonna derail because of me. That's not you happen. Cocky fuck.
Ever.
Yeah, God, that's insane to think about.
Like I guess you guys are listening to this. Doesn't matter anymore, probably. But like last week, we had a pretty big push in the Trump numbers. In all the battleground states, they were basically all even or he was up. Then it kind of fell off a little bit.
Yo, we could. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say we could just put this up on Tuesday
and not do one on Friday. Just put it up Tuesday because there wasn't one last week. The week before they're listening to this, anyways.
Yeah. No, there was one.
Oh yeah, it was a week before that. There wasn't.
Yeah.
We could do that.
So yeah, you guys could be listening to this while you're watching electoral colleges.
That'd be weird.
Decide the fate of our country.
We might do that. You guys might be listening to this on election day.
It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Is he going on vacation?
Yeah, he's got a neck pillow, dude. He's getting bored of flight, you know?
It's probably a good move, man. Yeah. You probably should get the fuck out.
No one's found him yet anyway.
Democrats don't like you. Yeah. Or maybe they do, actually. It's all inclusive, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's they, them.
He is.
Maybe that's why he's blurry.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Sasquatch is so they, them that he's not even clear.
Yeah. He can't. He's not clear emotionally or physically.
He instantaneously is both. That's why he's blurry.
Right.
It's like he's moving too fast.
He's a physical version of they, them. Of that term.
He's pixelated.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so they, them that he is pixelated.
Yeah. He's physically and metaphorically.
Real Clear Politics. Let's see that's what I would consider to be one of the best private polls, not public polls.
Have you ever been polled?
No, but you know what though? I was talking about that the other day. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck does these polls. I've never been polled. I've also never lived in a battleground state.
I've also never not worked during the day when they call people.
True, but it's like I live in California. They don't have to poll California.
No.
You live in Colorado. They don't have to poll Colorado. We live in Tennessee now. They don't have to poll Tennessee either.
No.
I think if we lived in maybe like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Have you had a massive...
Maybe not even Minnesota.
Have you had a massive uptick in like phone calls on your phone? Like shit that you don't answer?
No, I did at the beginning of the election, like at the beginning of...
Bro.
Like in like August.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of random phone calls that I wasn't answering.
No, I don't answer any. But I'm telling you, like if I go through my phone right now, I can tell you right now, like this is going to... Well, maybe it wouldn't blow your mind, but it blew my mind. So I'm going to go down the list. Let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oops.
So this is interesting. Go ahead.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We'll go through the last 20 calls on my phone.
Okay.
Okay, the last 20 calls.
I have been getting text messages from Marsha Blackburn.
Yes, I'm getting text messages from that broad too.
Yeah.
And
She
some
sends
people in
videos,
Riverside.
too.
Oh, really? And people in Riverside also.
Oh, they think you're so... You guys are wasting time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so out of the last 20 phone calls that I've received on my phone, 13 of them have been calls that I have not answered because they are robot calls.
Really?
They're terrible calls. That is fucking. If you look at my phone list, look at this. This is fucking crazy. I'll just show you because it's easy. Look at all the red.
Yeah. That means potential spam or something?
Yeah, it's stuff that like I'm not answering any of that. Like sometimes I answer just to have fun. The other night I was watching TV. I was watching Entourage. By the way, I'm like going through Entourage again.
Sure.
Like all the seasons because I think they're amazing. And I picked one up Thursday night, I believe, while I was watching it. And it just so happened that I guess invoked a fart that I had. So I just...
Sorry?
Yeah, I don't know why. I was just like, the phone rang and I'm like, man, I got a fart. And I grabbed my phone and I'm like, oh, it's telemarketer. And I turned it on and I go, hello? And they're like, hi, how you doing? And I just fucking tore a fart and just...
Hung up. That's amazing. So here's this is Real Killer Politics as of this morning in the 7 battleground states.
Okay.
Trump is up 49.2 to 46.9 in Arizona. That number should be more accurate than just a poll because we're getting a lot of early voting from Nevada. Now, that doesn't mean that could definitely that absolutely could mean that more Republicans have early voted, obviously, but 49.2 to 46.9 in Arizona.
I thought,
and Nevada, he's up 48.7 to 47.2, so he's up 1.5 in Nevada and 2.3 in Arizona. The Nevada one is one that she doesn't want to lose.
oh, really?
Yeah, it's not a lot of votes, but they thought they had locked that into a blue state.
So
they said that was going to be her easiest one to keep.
Am I wrong in my thought that I was under the impression that most early votes were Democratic?
Used to
generally, that the early voting was
Democratic. That's something
because that was like mail-in stuff.
This is a weird election because we're also coming into this like everyone kind of got used to last year where we all mailed in or dropped off because I handed mine to a person because I wasn't going to mail it.
Right.
It's like not happening. Even I was in California, I was like, not happening. 4 years ago, the last election.
Right.
Like we all got used to that. And now like I think that more people, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but I think that more people are just continuing the mail-in vote.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like ordering shit online. It's just it's a little bit. It's just easier.
It's easier. Yeah.
You know, but I was going to say something stupid like one way is less corrupt, but that's bullshit because it doesn't matter. If you go to the polls or you mail in, it could all be just... At this point, we are aware of the ballot tampering both in person
we had
and mail-in.
2 boxes get lit on fire last week that we know of that were reported on. One of them, I think, was in Wisconsin. And one of them was in a random-ass state that I don't think even fucking mattered. I don't. What's interesting about that is like, what do? You like tell people if you voted at this box, vote again? I mean,
seems like it could
like if you catch that guy, like, is that treason?
It's certainly a federal offense, and you're tampering with federal documents.
You can't go into federal documents. Yeah, you can't go into somebody's mailbox. That's a federal offense.
That's right.
You
It's
can't
no
do that.
different, right? I mean,
But you're also interfering with an election,
yeah, it's election tampering,
which they
or
have
whatever.
had Trump on trial for a long time.
Yeah.
So, anyways, came down the numbers. Wisconsin, Harris is up 0.2. Michigan, she's up 0.8. Pennsylvania, Trump is up 0.4. North Carolina, Trump is up 1.5. And Georgia, Trump is up 2.6.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are the battleground states. Polling is interesting because what also is interesting is, like you said, like we usually see early voting and absentee voting come in heavily for the Democrats. They also say, and when I say they, I mean like pollsters that I have been listening to, that that Republicans tend to show up. The polls are usually low on the Republican side. So like, for instance, like they said, if Trump's only up 1 in the polls, like he might win by 6 or 7 points.
I see.
Yeah, and they said that's been pretty historically accurate, that like Republicans are always low in the polls. And I'm not sure if it's like some of them are really rural and they don't get called. Some of them are like, someone's calling me, I don't know, like me, and I'm like, I'm not answering that.
Right.
But typically they say that Republicans show up more than what the polls are, which I think is, I don't know if it's something you should, like really lean on, but that's, I think, what they were talking about. Their Trump team being cautiously positive.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic. Mm-hmm. I think there's probably a fair amount of that on both sides in regard to, like, probably people waiting.
And I think,
are they even tallying? Are they tallying early votes right now?
They were.
And
I was watching something for Nevada.
And they are putting it out, like they're putting those numbers out.
I don't know if they're putting out exact vote numbers, but they were putting out percentages of what's coming in Republican or Democrat. That's what I was seeing.
I see. So, the boss, he went early because they're not going to be here.
Yeah.
For that. So, like, they went early. That's funny. Here's a funny story. So, well, actually, it's fucking crazy. So he's, Republican, just like, just to the bone, like, loves America. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, it's so weird that people say that. Like, you love America, you must be Republican. That's a fucking weird thing to say.
It's a weird thing to say, but you kind of get that feeling sometimes.
I mean, maybe. Again, like, okay, to your point.
I don't get that feeling with real Democrats.
Right. Okay, so that's kind of what I was going to say, like, kind of on that same level is like what you talked about.
Like, you don't get that feeling with a Bill Clinton Democrat.
No, you're right. You're right. So like I think a month ago or maybe a little more than that, we've talked about this quite a bit, but how you, and I agree with your point that like most of us are in the middle. Most of us are not.
Most of us lean to one side in the middle.
Yeah. Most Americans, I believe, most Americans have, are open to both sides' arguments for things.
Yes.
But they still politically lean to one side based on the things that they feel. Yeah, a couple issues that they feel more, drawn to. Mm-hmm. But I would say that on most things, for me, on most issues, I can and will see both sides of it, understand that there's 2 arguments or 3 arguments to the story, whatever, and that I can understand that side most of the time.
Sure.
So I'm not far left or far right, right? So, and neither are you.
No.
But, like, so anyway, they go and vote, right? It was one of their daughter's first vote and the kind of thing. It was kind of cool. So they get in line, they do their thing, get to him, can't find you in the system.
Of course you can't.
Can't find you in the system. He goes, what? And they're like, yeah, I can't find you in the system. You're going to have to go to that line over there. That line's out the door. Out the door, that line. For people that they can't find.
That's weird.
In the system. And so halfway through, like he's sitting there, he's like, I got to get back to the shop. Like, this is crazy. I can't just be sitting here all day waiting. So he asked one of the people there, he's like, if we clear this up today, am I going to be able to vote? She goes, no, you're not going to be able to vote this year.
What?
He goes, huh? He goes, all right, well, I'm out then. Like, I'm not going to sit around and wait. Like, that's crazy. So then that night, his wife, they do some digging, like online, to see, because he's registered to vote.
Sure.
Here. The last time that he voted was in 2019.
Okay.
Indiana. Or Illinois. Or back, another state.
Okay.
Right? And now, so like he was still registered there, even though he had registered here. And has the card, and I have that too. I mean, I have
the card.
I have the card, and so they did some stuff. She did some stuff online. Bing, bang, boom. You're good.
Okay.
So now he's like, well, I wonder now if I go down, I can vote, because there wasn't like a clear. Like, he immediately got an email saying that he's registered here and only here.
Yeah.
Right. So then that begs the question, like, who got to vote for him in this other state? Like, it's a weird thing, right? Because he's technically registered in both states.
Yeah, technically, he could have voted there too.
And since it, and so, I guess, well, what someone was saying was that within 30 days of the election, that you're locked in on either yes or no being able to vote, allegedly. I'm like, motherfucker, go to California.
Seriously.
You can just walk in that bitch.
You just drive over there right now. You can vote. Doesn't matter where you're from.
They don't give a fuck. They're not going to ask you for fucking anything.
No.
Which is absurd.
You know.
Is that not absurd?
Yes.
That you could just bring people in. Because we were talking about that. We brought that in. We brought that up. Me and him were talking. And he goes, you see all these commercials about grab a friend and go vote. Yeah. Grab somebody and bring them in and go vote. Yeah. How can you do that? You can't register right then.
Well, you got to assume they're registered and they're just not going.
Assume.
Yeah. Well, so, California, that doesn't matter.
However, that's not what it says. That's not the way that commercial goes. Grab a friend, go vote. Grab somebody that doesn't vote, go vote. If I hear grab somebody that doesn't vote, to me, in my mind, I'm going to assume that they are not registered to vote because they don't vote. So you cannot go down the day of register and vote. You can't do it. Here.
Yeah.
California, you can just bring in hundreds of people. Apparently, you can just walk in and just be like, let's roll.
I think there's a lot of people that register that don't vote.
Here's a question.
I used to do it.
Yeah, here's a question. Can you just? Well, yeah, you're in California.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well,
you just go
waste my time.
But here's the thing: how crazy is this? Think about that. Like, let's say we just wanted to go and vote, right? In California, you just go vote, and then you can just walk out of there and go to the next place and give them another name and vote.
Yeah. Realistically, you could do that. It wouldn't be hard.
Do we not?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. They said it was racist to ask for a driver's license to vote in California.
Racist. Yeah.
Racist? I don't think racist is the right word. I think that's a hot buzzword that you guys just like to throw around to make people scared.
That's a very interesting point that you just brought up.
Yep.
Because I think I was listening to somebody on a podcast. I'm pretty sure it was Joe, actually, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. Him and Sean Ryan were talking about it, I believe.
Okay.
And racism, he goes, how crazy is it that, like, since 2000, all of a sudden 2009 or whatever, 2010, racism has just exploded.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
Right? How just all of a sudden.
I said this a long time ago. Yeah. Me and you on this podcast said it. Mm-hmm. When it started getting crazy again was when we had a black president and they started pushing the narrative.
Yeah, we talked about that recently, actually. How that divide. Well, we've talked about it before, yes. Okay. But more recently, we talked about it again.
Yeah.
talking about how, because you brought up the fact that he was at a rally and he was like talking to black guys, saying like, if you don't vote for like, Biden, what was that?
It was for Kamala. That was
or Kamala. Yeah.
He was like shaming black men into voting for Kamala because he was assuming that black men weren't voting for Kamala because she was a woman. He was like,
that's right.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I mean, I know you're half black, but I still don't think you can say things like this.
Well, yeah. And it's like,
that's
you realize you're drawing like this massive line in the sand.
Yeah. That's where the division started.
Right. And it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Because of you, or because of Yuns. Because of all you guys and gals on one side specifically that are like, it's so crazy.
I think it was a conspiracy theory 10 years ago. I think we can all safely now come to the conclusion that like the on purpose division of this country was done just that on purpose. Mm-hmm. And it started during the Obama administration.
Yeah.
I think that when we were all seeing Obama in 2007 running, I think that everyone was kind of like, well, he talks really good. Like he seems like a very political kind of like guy. He's like maybe more left center, very presidential. I think that we know now that he was the turbocharged engine behind this. And I think that's exactly what they wanted. And we know now, like, he's like he's like Buddha to them. He's like everyone, like the whole left party, like we know, like looks to him.
Yeah.
Like he had no business talking to Biden about dropping out of the election. Zero. Bitch, you retired. So you're not even a politician anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's a weird fucking thing. But if I suppose if you look at, I suppose you could make that argument also for past presidents being very influential. I mean, people are arguing that which I'm not, I just think that's asinine, but I don't also know all the details, all the deets, as the kids use. But people have made the argument that Trump shot down that vote when about a year after he was out of office, when it came to the border security thing. that Kamala and Unky Joe headed up, that he called in some favors to. Like, I'm thinking, dude, first of all, you said this guy was Satan.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that this dude, like, was the reason that bill got shot down. Are you fucking serious? Like,
well, the problem with that bill was crazy. It was like, here's another thing. I'm going to get to that too. Okay. That bill was like 2,000 pages long.
Right.
And it was like...
And no one read it.
And the immigration thing was listed like on like 6 pages of it. Mm-hmm. I think if I was president of the United States and I had all power, I would say, look, we're going to put bills. We're going to vote on bills that are going to be made law. That motherfucker's got to be 1 page, 1 issue per bill.
Yeah, that's a real problem.
This is fucking ridiculous.
It's a real problem.
Because you got fucking senators and congressmen from every fucking state. They're like, well, this town needs this done, so why don't we just throw that into the bill there, fucking guy? And they're like, oh, yeah, cool. And it's like, why don't we just fucking do this one at a time here?
Yeah, in case people don't know how those work.
Yeah, and then it'll be like, there'll be trans stuff in it. There'll be immigration stuff in it. There'll be some type of budget in it. Mm-hmm. Well, that's their favorite, when they got to pass a budget and they start throwing stuff in.
They pack all this other shit in there.
Yeah, and we're like, and that's the problem. That's why you can't get bipartisan agreement on those votes, because it's like, yes, we want this to pass, but the rest of this bill, but we're going to kill the bill, because this stuff cannot pass,
because there's 2 pages that are nonsense, and we're not passing that bill. But that's, so they package these things together like a Christmas present, and they say, there's multiple things in the present. You're going to like most of them. The other things we just don't talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say 70% of the people that are voting, and I don't think that this is at all a stretch. 70% of the people that are voting have no idea what's in that bill. They have a piece of an entire bill. Do you remember physically seeing the Obamacare bill?
Yeah.
It was on a pallet.
It was on a pallet.
That was 6 feet high.
Yeah.
You know how many pages that is, bud?
Yeah, and everyone has to get a copy.
That's 6 digits, son.
Because I remember it was a big deal. Because because the Republicans were like, I want a copy.
Yeah.
They're like, you better get a forklift and drop it off in my office.
Right.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't.
And they couldn't. They couldn't.
Yeah.
There'd be no more trees left.
They'd have to pass another bill just for the paper. And you can't get that fucker through.
Yeah, and that's not going to get through because they're going to tack on something about transgenders in that one.
You got to package in transgenders and the Green New Deal.
Well,
of
course.
Goes together.
Yeah, that's all. It's interwoven.
And then in the Green New Deal, you can't have paper. You got to have hemp. That's a problem because no one...
No, we can't. But if we have that, then they're going to legalize marijuana. So here we go.
On hemp, and then all of a sudden the devil's lettuce comes into play. We're all fucked.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ride it in the sky with airplanes.
Yeah. We're going to run around. Yeah, we're going to send about 1.5 million carrier pigeons.
I just think that, like, that is a no-brainer to me. They're like, hey, man, we're going to see one bill at a time here.
Yeah.
We could do, like, 30 a day probably if they're one at a time.
Probably.
And we could probably get so much more done.
Yeah. Because it's 30 pages instead of 480,000 pages.
Seriously.
It's crazy. It really is. And that's, unfortunately, that's probably never going to change because there's so much. And again, you could dive down this rabbit hole, right? That is it's like a microcosm of what I think is the biggest issue in this country. I think you share the same opinion that the federal government has way too much control of what's happening in our states.
Right.
Because if that bill is 4,000 pages long, and in there are 48 issues that are trying to be approved, of which most people that are voting on know about 4 of them.
Yeah, or agree with 4 of them.
But agree to the point that they are going to say yes.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about the rest of them.
That's crazy.
That's pretty insane to think about.
Yeah.
That they're voting on.
That's crazy. I have a really good example of this. I don't know. It was in my my government class, my senior year. For some reason, I feel like we had someone pretty important come talk to us. I think he wasn't like a congressman, but I feel like he was something to do with like the state government. And he came in and was talking to us, and he was talking about, like, we were talking about how bills are made into laws, and he was talking to us about like all that, they call it like fat, like all the pork fat or whatever they call it. And he was saying, like, in Morro Bay, where I'm from, that the bay has to be scraped. The sand has to be scraped out of the bay because of the way the ocean pushes into it around that sandbar. And it has to be done like every 3 or 4 years, something like that. Or else it'll just like literally just dry up and there'll be no water there. So they have to do that like every 3 or 4 years. And it's really expensive to do. They like dredge out the bay. And they throw that's like, he was using that as an issue of something they throw into a bill they're trying to pass to get federal funding to do it.
Gotcha.
He's like, so like that stuff, he's like, that's one example of stuff that can get thrown into a bill, maybe for healthcare or maybe for immigration. And it's like, that's just one example of one tiny ass town in California.
They attach it to a layup.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they know that, it's going to be, it's going to fly under the radar enough that they're going to get there.
I had a more important point I was going to say before that, and then I forgot what I was going to goddamn say.
Dang it. Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's a super weird thing. It's probably never going to get resolved. Doesn't matter who's in there.
No.
Because that's really how it works. I mean, that's really how it runs. If you want something that's important to you in your city, town, county, state, you have to attach it to a larger bill that will get traction.
Yeah.
That's how you get traction.
I know what I was going to say.
Go for it.
Before I forget again.
The floor is yours, sir.
This is very interesting. And also, maybe an argument to say that we should have some term limits for these fellows. Do you know Trump's first term, he appointed 3 Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, like when a Supreme Court justices have to die, basically, like
Yeah.
they never retire, they just die.
Yeah.
Some of them do retire, but some of them just die on the stand with a gavel. I don't know. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was like 118 years old when she died.
Yeah. She died with the gown on.
Yeah. Dude. Anyways, he appointed 3 of the 9. The next president is going to get 2.
Wow.
That they're thinking that the 2 are going to be gone. So if Trump gets in, he might have appointed 5 of the 9 Supreme Court justices if he gets in.
That's crazy.
And out of the 4 that aren't there, I think at least 2 of them are already Republicans.
Yeah.
So it's possible that the Republicans could have 7 of the 9 Supreme Court justices. That's crazy.
You know what I think is crazy?
Which is weird because it's not a political office.
I was just about to say what's crazy to me is they have known political bias. You're a judge.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be a political office, right? But when political things don't get solved and they go to the Supreme Court, you guys are the ones to decide on.
Yeah. Okay.
Just think
you are a pope.
Think that you are a Supreme Court judge.
Right.
Supreme leader. We've heard that before.
Yeah.
That fucking crazy guy hucking nukes over North Korea.
4-3 bowl cut. I think everybody knows who we're talking
Gray here.
Yeah. Gray onesie.
Yeah.
That one.
With the buttons.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that guy wearing?
Fake buttons.
Oh, we should talk about that too. Before let's mention this so then we can go continue the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
North Korea just sent troops to help Russia in Ukraine. That should scare everybody. Because we know, quote, air quotes, know they've been in talks for a long, long time and been okay with each other. But now you're openly, publicly being like, they're helping here.
Yeah. So, okay, but however,
what?
Okay, comma, the countries that are not in NATO have their own deal.
Sure, yeah.
And they're in it. So, like,
they're trying to do that Brazilian
Russia.
thing. What is it called?
Russia and there's a bunch of other non-NATO countries.
Yes.
That are part of their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're the other team.
But it's not like an official thing, though.
It's not an official thing. It's like, hey, bro, you want to roll with me?
Right, that's
like,
what I'm talking about. Like,
whose cow we take?
It's like an unofficial thing. But when you go out and make it worldwide publicly known.
Well, there's the official. There it is. And now it's official.
Yeah, now it is official. It was Thursday morning, I think, Halloween morning. It was an alert on Fox News, and they were like bringing it up. They were talking about it. I texted Kobe and I told him, and I was like, you hear about that? And he's like, yeah, I just saw it. And I was like, man, I'm pretty excited. I've been waiting for the final chapter of this book.
Yeah. Here's what's crazy. What do you think happens when those guys get there? The North Koreans, they get there and they're like, what the fuck is that? And the dude's like, it's a phone.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? What the fuck is that?
That's food.
Yeah. You know what that is? That's an actual apple. Like, are they just going to be just like...
No, I think he keeps his military pretty well. Fed and stuff.
Can't have all of them, though.
No.
Can't do that with everybody.
No.
You can't. There's no fucking way. No. You cannot make it so that more people know that everything that you've taught them is complete horseshit. Because at some point, all those people are going to be like, I want a hamburger. And... I want Google.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, at some point, there's going to be more folks in North Korea that know for a fact that all that shit there is bullshit. And they're like, wait a second.
I think they've got them brainwashed, man.
A little bit.
Brainwashed and scared. That's the thing is because they put such a heavy emphasis and you're rewarded for turning in people.
Yeah.
They're like someone be like,
till you go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's why you never see those guys more than once.
Well, sure.
Dude, like you see, like, okay, like you see fucking, who's our fucking swimmer? Old one? Michael Phelps.
Michael.
That motherfucker's in there for like 4 Olympics, okay? That motherfucker's in there for 16 years. We all know him. Go look at those fucking divers who win every gold medal from North Korea. You see them more than once? Nope. Got to taste the outside. Now we got to.
Yeah. She gone.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah, no, man. It's a weird thing. Yeah, man. I don't know. That's God. The jig's up. Just saying. Like, it's going to be up. There's only so much farther that you can go when the rest of the world is like so far ahead technologically as a society.
Yeah.
That at some there's going to be a point where there's just not a shot that you're going to keep everybody under the same hood.
Yeah, what happens? Like, do we just see like a huge massacre of North Korean civilians?
Well, here's the thing.
Like, do they rise up and then he just turns the military on them and just...
I mean...
What military aren't also turning?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, at some point, it's just not going to be there. It's wild. They're going to implode on themselves.
I think that's bad, too.
On some level,
I think if he's in that fucking big-ass bunker and he's like, the generals are like... They all turned. We're losing the army, too. Like, that's the guy that's just like, launch them all.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
The problem is China and Russia allowing them to do their dirty work.
Yeah.
And just, like, looking this way.
Yeah.
Like Kansas City Shuffle style.
the other way. It's the same thing with fucking China fucking paying the Taliban for all that land. They're fucking pulling out all that lithium.
I mean, to be fair, though, we gave them a bunch of money, too.
Sure. Well, yeah, we're still giving them money. Every week.
Yeah.
$80 million.
Yep, here we are. Here's the check. Check's on time, son. So here's a question. So here's my thing. I remember when Obama did this, too, actually. So, like, if I truly do think, let's not talk, like, not talking about nuclear war here, okay? We're talking about just like what's happening right now politically in the world, or what's happening right now with like this power grab kind of situation in Europe, Ukraine, whatever you want to call it. So we devastated Russia's economy in a matter of a week with sanctions.
The same thing with Iran too.
The same thing with Iran, and then and that happened. Obama did it also. Mm-hmm. And then Trump did it even more aggressively. So now I am not saying that they couldn't cripple us in some sectors, especially right now, because we're so dependent on the stuff that's coming in from China. However, we would do way more damage financially if we just sanction the fuck out of those two countries.
You just fucking...
Well, tariffs for sure. I'm not even talking about tariffs, though. I'm talking about...
tax the goods coming in.
I'm talking about sanctioning imports, not from a tax situation, but just be like, we're not taking them.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because we buy like 80% of China's fucking goods.
Right.
Some stupid number.
And
like that.
a lot of Russia stuff. So it's like... And that's a NATO thing. So, like, if NATO says... If we say, meh, that's a wrap, like, within a week.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, as we all know, you got to have money to fight a war. Just saying.
Oh, shit.
Woo! Winner.
Yeah.
So, there's ways to do this, and very effective ways. Number one. Number two, already done it. And it's worked.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's a very solid point. I don't understand why they're not doing it right now. Well, I'll tell you why.
No one's at the head.
I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because they want this war with Ukraine and Russia to keep going.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're making money.
Sure. Yeah.
Of
course they are.
That's why. That's why we're sending money to them.
Right.
Because we're not sending them money. We're sending them weapons.
Yeah.
Someone's got to make those weapons.
Right.
Just saying.
We're washing billions of dollars.
Fucking laundering
our own money.
We're laundering. Well, you have to launder it because it was already stole from the citizens in the first place.
That's what I'm saying.
You're laundering my money.
Yeah.
You're like, we're sending them $200 billion. Don't worry. It's not actual paper money. We're sending them missiles.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. Thank you.
That we paid for.
That's my fucking missile.
This guy. I want a tomahawk. You want a tomahawk. Instead, you're giving them tomahawks. Like, how many tomahawks?
I'll fucking hang that bitch on this wall.
Seriously. It's a great thing.
I think every American should have a tomahawk missile.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You're great. And just have our own finger on the trigger. Just fuck it.
Thing.
Neighbor gets crazy. Guess what? That tomahawk in your ass. Dong. But you only get one, so you got to use it wisely.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think we should all go down to one nuclear weapon. Just be like, bring it. Where are you going? What's the strategy here, bud?
The problem is Russia would never do it. Like, he'd be like,
oh, I know.
We have 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we have one nuclear warhead. We have one nuclear weapon. We have one nuclear weapon. It's got 400 warheads in it.
Yeah.
But it's only one package. So it's like, you know, we can distribute it evenly.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
Oh, God. Is there a USB on the back of that thing?
Probably.
Hold, please.
There's one here.
Oh, yeah. I have a whole thing. Right there. For actual moments like this. Plug her in. Plug it in. Plug it in.
Man.
Oh, man. There was something else I was going to say, too. It was about the voting and, like, ballots and stuff. Okay. Here's a question.
You're plugged in.
Thank you. Here's a question.
See if that works.
Why, if I was a supreme leader of the United States,
Sure.
just saying, Edmund 2028, send your vote.
Yeah.
I feel like, why do we not? Okay, why are every state wrapped into one?
Why is every state? Not why are.
Why are
one state?
Well, because I was going to say something else, and then I changed my thought in the middle, and I wasn't going to go back and fucking
fair enough
tech support it.
I gotcha.
Why is it that every state is not connected to like a server on, like, let's just call this program We Vote program? Mm-hmm. Why do we not have a We Vote server where it's like everyone in the country in a folder by state, just title this one Tennessee.
Right. There's going to be
have a list of fucking registered voters. When they cast their vote, it like checks them off, makes them no longer available to vote, right? Mm-hmm. That seems pretty easy. That's a pretty easy program, right? It's like goddamn Excel, just on a bigger scale. Mm-hmm. We do that all the time. Twitter's worldwide. Hold on, don't say words yet. We're all on a server. Dings us off. And why is that not public information? Doesn't have to say who you voted for. Just says voted, registered. If that's the case, we have all the registered voters and all the motherfuckers are checked off, and we know that 10 million people voted in this state. We know that 10 million votes were counted. Mm-hmm. Why is that not a thing?
Racism.
Because that's racist. Because you know why? Because accurate information is racist.
Yeah. I think you could make the argument that is government overreach on some level.
What part of transparency is government overreach?
I am not
being able to fuck a smallmouth when it's within your daily bag limits is fucking government overreach.
Every podcast.
Me being able to see accurate voting numbers, that's the fucking farthest thing from government overreach.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
channeled
sure someone could make.
I channeled my inner woke.
I'm sure that someone would make the argument, and it would probably sound really good to half this country that was government overreach.
So, what's crazy? First of all, they already have that. They already They have a list of all registered voters. That's what a register by definition is.
Right.
A registry. Okay. So they already have that.
Yeah.
Right. I would assume that they also know how many of those registered voters voted. Well, 100%.
You have to.
Yeah. I'm not. So I don't think that's where you I don't think that's where you're going. I didn't know that's where you're going with that. But
I'll tell you what their argument against that is if you did that, you'd have to provide a social security number when you voted.
Yeah, which they can't do because most people don't have one.
In California.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it is absolutely fucking absurd that I say we, not us, that our nation thinks that there is a fucking problem with someone voting. The only people that are voting are people that are citizens of the country. That is absurd to think that
someone has a problem with that.
That as a whole, as a nation, that is more and more of a thing. If you ask any other nation,
like if I flew to Germany today and was like, "Hey, I'm going to vote on Tuesday," they'd be like, "The fuck you aren't."
Right. And to hide behind the fact that this is the, land of the free, home of the brave. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. That's weird.
We need to rethink that 200-plus-year-old fucking piece of paper that is underneath that bitch that's holding up the fucking, in New York.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like, we need to rethink what that was actually all about.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You want to come to America for a better life? You want to come to America to have a shot at freedom and, okay, no problem.
General America stuff?
Right. Awesome. Love it.
Perfect.
Love it. I don't understand why it's such a big fucking deal. That this is such a hot... I do not understand. Please, someone tell me, why is it such a big fucking deal that we ask them to do it the right way? Okay, you want to be a citizen of the United States? No problem. Here are the steps that you have to take.
Here's what's fucked up about the whole thing.
It seems crazy.
People will say that. I've heard it said. And the answer to that is always, it takes a long time, and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think it takes way too long. I think the length of time is really the problem here.
It seems ridiculous.
It's not difficult. It's difficult in the sense that, you might have to go places, throughout the span of 15 years or 6 years, whatever it is. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. But what is wrong is that you're saying there's a problem. We want people to immigrate here, but our immigration system is flawed. It takes too long. It's too difficult. There's a bunch of hoops you have to go through. It is fucking crazy to me that you say we need to fix that, and your short form answer to fixing it is, well, we'll just let them all in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why don't we just fucking fix it?
Right. Because it's harder, apparently, to fix it than to just fucking throw them the key and let them roam.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that it's highly nuanced, and there's because we have to deal with people seeking asylum. Again, and you're okay.
I get it.
We get it. You got
We're not
people from
all
Venezuela. You're seeking political asylum because that guy in Venezuela is crazy. Okay, check it out. You also pass through fucking 20 countries coming here, bud, that aren't killing you guys.
Right.
That you don't need asylum from.
Right.
And that was one of their arguments. You made it to Mexico, dude. There's no asylum in Mexico.
Right.
Let Mexico take them.
Right.
And Mexico's nope.
Yeah,
okay,
keep going.
Why can't we be
keep stepping.
Nope.
Son. Yeah.
It would be one thing if Venezuela was on our border.
Right.
It's not.
No.
You pass through 20 fairly free countries, walking your ass here.
You went to another continent.
Right. I'm just saying.
That's a continent change.
You
now
can't-
I get it. Well, no, there's no. You got to go over. Yeah, it's a continent change.
No, Venezuela's still in North America.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on the little skinny part.
Oh fuck, man! I'm sorry. I thought it was.
Man, now you got me second
America.
guessing though. Like I'm not
Central America for sure. But,
it's Central, yeah.
But in terms of continents, I could have sworn it was below the.
I don't understand. Look, we're not taking. Oh, it is. No, you're right, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's at the very top, right next to Colombia.
That's what I thought.
I'm sorry. I thought it was right down there by Panama. Anyways, like we don't take political asylum people from Mexico because there is none.
Right.
You went through all these countries. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get here. Don't tell us you're trying to seek political asylum, and I'm talking this. Don't tell us. I'm talking about from politicians. Don't tell me they're trying to seek political asylum.
Right.
Here, when they pass through 20 countries they could have been in safely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. And again, you said it. Look, we're grazing over it. Totally understand.
There's a bunch of shit.
It's very nuanced, like, as you know, exactly what you said. There's a lot of fucking this and that and a lot of turns, and we're not getting into it. But on its face, it seems completely, I'm going to say, completely fucking bananas that's like, so saying that, like, and I agree that it is flawed big time. Becoming a citizen of the United States is fucking ridiculous. It seems fucking crazy that it takes 10, 15, 20 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
They vet politicians for 6 fucking months. You can't.
And then we let them run the country.
Right. But it takes 20 years to vet a non-citizen. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's not it. And I understand that that's not really what's happening, but it's fucking crazy. But opening up the borders and just being like, bring them in, we'll put them somewhere for now. That's like, that seems like that's castrating yourself. So, because your neighbor has too many kids.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, fix the fucking problem, man. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. It can't be that difficult.
Yeah.
It cannot be that hard. And to let all these folks in just because, like, you have, it's the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. You need to be America first. The people that are here, the guys that are here working, paying taxes, trying to do the right thing, raise a family, work, do all these things. That's what we focus on, right? As a country, you need to be country. You need to be country first. You need to be citizen first. And that doesn't get said a bunch, which is weird because it's like, it's fucking not. I'm just here to tell you it's not. And I know you're making jokes, and it's true because it's hilarious that people say that. It's not fucking racist, dude. Go to any other country.
No, it's not racist.
Go to fucking Canada.
About protecting everybody
good
that's
luck.
Here, not all white.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Go to Canada. Good luck. Yep. You got a fucking DUI here. You can't go to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
dude.
the fuck? And we've got and we have a fucking problem. Are you out of your fucking mind?
That dude that was in Trump's cabinet the first time who they're pretty sure Trump would make attorney general. What was that guy's name? He's an Indian fellow. He was on Sean's podcast. He is.
Didn't he try and run for? He was
not Vivek. I don't know. I just think Indian. I just think Vivek. So, hold on. I'll get him. He was on it fairly recently. Nope. Kash Patel.
Yeah.
He was Canadian citizen first. I think this was Kash. Shit, man. I'm mixing stuff up. Anyways, doesn't matter. It might not have been Kash. It doesn't matter. There was I believe he was an Indian guy from Canada. And he was coming into the United States to work.
Green card.
Yep. In order for him...
Visa. Visa.
In order for him to get the United States citizenship, they had to prove to the Canadian government that there was no one else in the United States that could do his job. Yep. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. Huh?
So wait, Canada wasn't going to let him become a citizen of the United States, or what it is was they didn't want dual citizenship, because that would have been like he was trying to get dual citizenship.
I don't remember it in that part. I don't remember him bringing up dual citizenship.
Because here's the thing, if I don't want to be in that country,
Right.
I'm not going to be in that country. Like, I mean, especially Canada, fucking Canada, dude. Maple syrup and hockey, got it. Okay, cool, man. Like,
Pretty sure it was cash.
that's fucking crazy.
That's
But see
a
that,
weird thing.
but there's an example of another country's views on citizenship, and you got and everybody's fucking freaking out over us.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
And right now, like the voting issue.
no,
to
Cash
your
was born in
point,
New York.
go to Germany and try and vote. Good luck.
Yeah.
Go to Europe and try and vote anywhere.
It wasn't
Good
cash.
luck. You can't do it. They're not going to fucking let you. You want to know why? 'Cause you're not a fucking citizen. You're not a citizen there. You're not paying taxes. You don't have a job. It's fucking crazy. You're not part of that society.
Oh, there was this guy, Avi Loeb. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it wasn't cash.
I just think it's
this guy. No, this is the Israeli American guy. I can't
unfortunately,
fucking remember.
unfortunately, this only comes up every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's wild.
It sucks. And then after it happened, and then after the deal, then for 3 years we talk about fucking. What's hilarious is the voting thing comes up 6 months before the election every
Yep.
4 years. And then after the election's over, all we talk about is how corrupt the fucking election was.
Yeah,
The voting.
And they were trying to fix it.
Jesus Christ. Can we fucking talk about that for a second? You guys want all these motherfuckers to vote that don't have social security numbers, and then after the election you want to fucking cry about the fact that it was fraud.
Every year we do.
No shit.
Every year. Every election year we do
Yeah.
this.
No shit.
Yeah.
Election tampering. La la la. Well, okay. You guys keep on talking about it, but you don't actually want to do anything about it.
No one ever does.
Yeah. Trump included, by the way.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Absolutely.
We didn't even get to that stuff.
Well, but to be fair, he didn't get in the last time, so he couldn't do anything about it after we figured out there was.
No, I meant like he went after that though for a while, that it was tampering. There was things going on.
Yeah.
Every one of these elections since Obama has been tainted by that shit. Fuck, before that actually
For
Bush.
like Gore, yeah.
Yeah, the Bush thing in
We
Florida.
didn't know for a few days there. We had the Hanging Chad.
The Hanging Chad.
That's
Oh
a
yeah.
dumb name. Who the fuck made that name?
Chad sucks.
Yeah, apparently I don't like Chad.
No one likes Chad.
How's that
That's
not
weird.
racist, by the way?
Well, it's yeah.
Well, it's not Hanging
not-
Quindarius, so.
It's not racist. It's like, it's some
You ain't
sort
never
of.
met a guy named Chad that wasn't white. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's very true. That's a weird thing. Like, who was that Chad?
Fucking asshole, apparently.
God damn, everybody hated him, wanted to hang him.
How crazy is that it came down to Florida?
Yeah, well,
I'll tell you
not
what.
that crazy.
I'll tell you what's weird. Not anymore. I'll tell you what's weird. Have you ever looked into what happens in the event of an electoral tie?
no.
Okay.
Do they do push-ups or something?
God. It's unfortunate is what it is.
I thought it was impossible.
Nope, it's possible. What I'm confused about is I'll get to that. So in the event of an electoral tie, the Senate chooses the vice president and the Congress chooses the president out of the top 3 most popular presidential candidates, which was something that RFK brought up. I don't know if it was on Rogan or on Sean Ryan, but he was saying, like, if he stayed in the race, he would be the 3rd most popular. And if it went to a tie, he felt pretty good that Congress would elect him as president. Anyways, so out of the 3 most popular, they can choose. And then Senate can choose from the 2 vice presidents that were running with the top 2.
Got it.
Okay, so we have a Democrat-run Senate or Congress and a Republican-run Senate. I don't know if they take into the account, like, okay, so say they tied. Say Kamala and Donald Trump tied. Do they let the people voted in on this election go into the House and the Senate and then vote, or do they do it right now?
I would say that they would have to do it right now.
You know what I mean? Okay. So that being said, what would end up happening if there was a tie is we would have Kamala as president and JD Vance as the vice president. Here's an even funnier one. What if it was Donald Trump and Walt?
Whoa.
That's weird.
That's a trip.
That is a trip.
Oh, God.
I think that should be rethought because that could be bad news bears.
Talk about a divide. Mm-hmm. That'd be horrible for the country.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I think it would be horrible. I think that should be rethought.
Yeah. For sure.
I think push-ups is a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Chin-ups, push-ups. Yeah. Some suicides.
Yeah, have them run an obstacle course or something.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. A spelling contest. That'd be a good.
Spelling contest.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happens. Like, what? That can't be how we do it. Right? Like, that can't be the thing that happens.
I don't know what to think about anything anymore, man. It's just such a weird thing. It's all a bunch of tomfoolery.
It's a bunch of hooey.
Yeah. It's a bunch of hooey. It's a bunch of tomfoolery nonsense. It's like these fucking clowns, man. You know this shit was invented when people had wooden legs.
TMI.
Excuse you?
God, I think that means we gotta stop.
Yeah, that means they're fucking on to us.
Yeah.
Like, these guys have figured it out. It's all a bunch of hooey.
It's all a bunch of tomfoolery. These fucking idiots figured it out. How'd they figure that out? I don't know. Had like fucking wood eyes and shit.
Oh, God. They had like horse teeth and stuff.
Yeah.
Wigs.
Back when they still had put wigs on.
Yeah. Is it weird that fucking Britain still does that? Like their fucking, like, their parliament still wear those.
Yeah. They still call it a parliament. That's a cigarette here. Or a fag there. Or what?
Yeah, it is, right? Parliament. Is it Parliament that does it? Parliament UK. Let's see. Images. I don't want to see the fucking... Okay, so they're not doing it in Parliament. Where are they doing it? It was like one of the judges.
Fuck them, losers.
Okay.
Power off.
Okay. That was power off. Okay.
Thank you. Maybe we should shut her down and start over.
Oh, man. All right. What time? How long have we been going? Good?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's time.
All right, it's time.
Hope you guys got out and voted.
Well, if you're listening to this on Tuesday and me and Paul decided to put it out on Tuesday, go vote.
Go vote.
Because it'll be out in the morning, so go vote.
Go vote.
I don't even care who you vote for. Just go vote.
Yeah, just be a part of it.
There are people in Venezuela walking through 20 free countries trying to get here to vote. You should do it. You're already here.
Yeah, you're already here. And you got a fucking car, most of you.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck.
You walk.
I mean, do your due diligence.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Be a part of the society.
Just add to the tomfoolery we got going on
Yeah.
here.
Add to the fucking clown show.
Yeah. Just fucking dancing clowns up there.
Crazy. All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Appreciate it.
If you don't hear
Both
from
of
us
you.
again, it's because we're on the front lines.
I'm going to be on the front line of my house.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I'm going.
That's what I
Fuckers
meant.
can come to me.
Yeah. Sure would love one of them tomahawk missiles.
I'll keep one for myself.
Yeah.
The rest of them are going at somebody else.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Yeah. Peace out.